Hey tubes, in this video we finished drilling up the plug holes and trimming those holes up so the metal lies flat. Then we go ahead and we put in some body sealer in it, and for the wheel well area, it's like a glue and a sealer. And we clamp it up, and then we cleco it up, and then we get it ready basically by taking off the paint around where we're going to be doing the plug welding and the butt welding and the lap welding. So stay tuned. All right, we put the quarter panel skin back on, and then remember every place where we made a little mark? That's where we felt that the metal was thick enough for us to put like a little hole for us to go ahead and weld through, make a plug weld. So that's what all this is right here, is all the spots where we're gonna go ahead and make a hole and do the plug weld. Now the reason we did it like this instead of using a center punch is because if you use a center punch, then you're actually deforming the metal where you actually have already trimmed it and made it flush. So it didn't make sense to do that, so we just used the paint as a way to hold the drill bit steady while we went ahead and drilled just like a little dimple. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take the quarter panel all the way off, and we'll finish drilling the holes. And any place where we couldn't drill a hole, we'll just make sure it's all flushed up really good before we put a tack weld on it. And we'll just take care of that. Like this is going to be a lap weld, but there was, as you can see right there, there's not much metal underneath the metal, and we got a little short, so we're going to have to actually fill that with some welding. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get this off now and get the holes drilled, and we'll show you that when we get done. All right, we got all the holes drilled here, as you can see, all the way. We got a couple of them that were kind of close, like this one we actually pushed through a little bit, but it's no big deal, it'll still weld. And one thing we're going to have to do is, you see the little metal bits there where the drill bit broke through? Okay, we're going to have to take all those off, and we're going to do that with a deburr tool right here. And what that does is it allows the metal to lie flat. If you don't deburr it, what will happen is the burrs will hold the metal up, and then it's not flat, and you don't get as good as a weld as you should. So we'll go ahead and get these all deburred, and then we'll do any reshaping, like there's a little dimple here and any other thing that might have got warped a little bit from the drilling. We'll make sure that's all taken care of, and then we'll do another test fit on it. So anyways, back at it, guys. We're taking the paint off where we're going to do the welding. We just use a little Harbor Freight grinder with a sanding disc on it. And when the disc gets a little worn, you can loosen this up and turn the disc around and use the other side of it. And then when it gets too worn, then you just go ahead and replace it. So go ahead and do it. I want to show you guys how we do it. There you go. And then you got to do between it for where you're going to do the lap weld. And that's just pretty much it. And then after you get done welding it up, put a little bit of primer on it to go ahead and protect the weld and the metal and stuff until you get ready to actually finish and do the body work. We're going to weld this quarter panel on after we get all this done. We'll put some sealer in it, etc., etc. So sitting here, we got the panel ground down and stuff where all the metal's going to be, and the other side we got all the metal done. I don't know if you can see it. Let me just go down here. It's all ground down, ready to go. So what we're doing now is just put some copper weld on there so that when we weld it, this portion is protected. So as far as the inside of the car goes, we went ahead and covered this one up. We made like a little dam. If any beaties get down there, it won't get down into the foam, we're hoping. So we'll just do our best. We'll have our fire extinguisher and our hose and our squirt bottle here to take care of that. We're getting ready to go ahead and put some sealer on here all the way around, and we'll put some here in the wheel well, and then we're gonna put the panel up, screw it down, and start welding. So here we go. This is what we're going to use, by the way, just in case you wanted to know. Now it is extremely flammable. We're already aware of that. So we'll be welding the rest of the quarter panel, and we'll clamp this section right here. When it cures, then we'll come back and we'll just tack weld it and make sure it's filled in good. So anyways, off to it. We're just going to go ahead and start applying caulking to this whole area right here. So let's get to it. Okay, just going to town here, back and forth. We'll get a spatula and we'll go ahead and smooth it out. Want to make sure we got plenty on here. Don't want any water getting down in this area. And that's etchant primer there, by the way. I'll show that to you if I had. No, I already showed that to you. That's right, one of the other videos. All right, now we're just gonna kind of not smooth it, but make sure it's squished in here really good. Oh, sorry. Watching what I'm doing instead of watching what I'm filming. Definitely want to make sure that there's plenty of stuff in here to ooze out and fill any air gaps or anything else. Oh yeah, there we are. There we go. All right. Okay, let's get over to the car now. There we go. I'm just going to just kind of flatten it out a little bit. Just a little bit. A little bit underneath. And flatten this out up in here. There we go. Make sure it's all over everything. Nice and sealed up good. It's already started to cure a little bit, so I gotta hurry up. Alright, let's get this quarter panel on here. We start with the back and then the bottom, and then we squish up, and then we make sure we get some clamps in it, Clecos, and then we'll clamp this whole area down with every clamp we can find, and then we'll go ahead and put screws in it, and I'll show that to y'all. Alright, we're getting it on here. You can see it's starting to ooze out, and that's what the clamps do. They make sure it's as close to it as possible. And then we put Clecos in it real quick in case we had to make any adjustments or anything. We already did the back. We made sure that the back over here at the guide holes were lined up and everything. So we got all those done. So now I'm just going to clamp it up, and I'll show it to you after I get it clamped. Alright, here we go. We got everything all clamped up now. I think we got 9 clamps on there. And you can see see everything oozing out. So anyways, and when we put this one in, we actually had to like put a screwdriver and pull this out a little bit before we could put that first one on there to make sure that the skin was out far enough. If it's not, then we can stick like a little micro screwdriver in there and pull it out just a little bit more. Now this stuff is flammable, so we're going to have to clean all this out right here. And there's some of that stuff that got down in here, which is fine, but we have to clean it out just enough so we can get it welded. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to put sheet metal screws in here. And the sheet metal screws will hold it on a little bit better than the Clecos do. So, and they'll hold it down tight. So that's what we want. And then we'll also use a screwdriver to push down on it at the same time. You'll get to see all that. So let's get to it. Well, that's it pretty much for this video. Stay tuned for the next one. We put some Clecos in it and get it ready to spot weld on. And we'll talk about some issues and things that we need to address during the video. So it is a long-term project. So please be patient with us. We just do it when my son comes home from college. Y'all have a good one. God bless you until the next video. Bye.